Gojo Satoru is nowhere to be found in the latest spoilers of Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 237, but we see new players arriving at the scene. Gege Akutami has done it again with another massive surprise, so stay tuned till the end of this video. Hello and welcome to Beyond Anime Enigma. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. It would help out the channel immensely. The battle of the strongest has come to a close, and now we've come to a point where it's a battle against the strongest. So we start off with the thunder god Kashimo eagerly approaching. And upon entering the battlefield, he notices another player joining in. It was none other than Uraume, standing on top of what seems to be a big chunk of ice. But Uraume noticed that someone was behind him, and it was revealed to be Hakari Kenji, challenging Uraume in order to keep the promise he made with Kashimo. Without a moment's hesitation, Hakari opens his domain expansion and Uraume activates ice formation. Hakari managed to capture Uraume inside his domain, but the big chunk of ice continued to fall, and we see it falling on top of Sukuna. This chunk of ice suddenly evaporates as it falls, and Kashimo notices that there's something inside the melting ice. It turns out that Uraume was only delivering something to Sukuna. And that something turned out to be the cursed weapon Yorozu constructed in exchange for a binding vow of death. It was the cursed tool Kamutoke. As soon as Sukuna caught the falling cursed tool, he used it to fire an electric attack on Kashimo and said, "Good old times." But due to the nature of Kashimo's cursed energy, it has made him resistant to electricity, and he tanked Sukuna's attack without even flinching. Kashimo then asked, "Did you become the strongest, or were you born as the strongest?" Kashimo then asks Sukuna to tell him if strength begets loneliness with no sense of belonging. Is that the punishment for strong people? Sukuna replies that he doesn't know since he was an unwanted child. Kashimo then proceeds to ask Sukuna how he interacted with others without knowing weakness, without knowing how to show affection or mercy. Kashimo then continued to say that he saw other humans as dirt. Sukuna then says that Kashimo is extravagant, the same as Gojo. He then taps his head with the cursed weapon and urges Kashimo to fight him. Then the fight begins. Kashimo rushes to Sukuna and he tries to land a blow with his staff, but Sukuna blocks it with his weapon. Sukuna moves back, giving Kashimo the opening to use his cursed technique called Genju Kohasaku, which translates to Phantom Beast Amber. We then see Sukuna's face somewhat shocked by Kashimo's speed. Then Kashimo proceeds and successfully lands a punch on Sukuna's face. After successfully landing that punch, Kashimo loads up a breath technique and fired it at Sukuna. It seems like talk no jutsu, it's not a thing on JJK. Then we see Kashimo's body coated with some sort of flame made out of cursed energy. The narrator says that Kashimo's cursed technique allows his body to be able to blast any kind of attack using cursed energy. Kashimo then manages to land another punch on Sukuna due to his cursed technique, which enhanced his agility and can evaporate anything he touches. This cursed technique is like a double-edged sword, I guess, because once this cursed technique ends, it will break Kashimo's body. We can clearly see that Kashimo is going all out right out of the bat, and Sukuna is just beating the bush, considering how he can clearly one-shot Kashimo with his space-cutting cleave or something, or whatever. We then see Kashimo bewildered by what he is witnessing. He successfully landed that punch on Sukuna, and it was supposed to be over. To his surprise, he saw Sukuna come out of the smoke with his original body, and the narration says, "The transformation of reincarnation has been started." We now see the four-armed Sukuna, folks. This sneaky son of a gun, Sukuna, really had something up his sleeve. It turns out Sukuna had a method of reviving his original body only once without using reverse curse technique, but he was keeping it as some sort of a last resort. I think Kashimo really took Sukuna by surprise here, putting Sukuna in a situation where he had no choice but to use a one-time method of reviving his original body. So there you go, guys. We see forearm Sukuna. What do you think of this chapter? Wait. If this is his original body, then where did Megumi's body go? If it's still Megumi's body, and if he returns, will he keep all four arms? Like all four of Sukuna's arms, or something like that? Or how long will Kashimo's curse technique last? Because we all know this is like a double-edged curse technique, and how will it match against Prime Sukuna? Also, where did Gojo's body go? I feel like Shoko is working on healing Gojo's body because it's nowhere to be found. But we don't know. We don't know. We can't confirm it just yet. For now, it's like Gege is saving something up for us. I don't really know. Yeah, but yes, I think this chapter is quite surprising, and it also raises a lot of question. So that's all for today. See you guys next time. And do consider subscribing since this channel really needs it, I think. I mean, if you enjoy this content, then let me know. All right.